Are you looking for a central space to plonk your base? Well, today I'm going to go over 20 beautiful and effective locations to put your base in Ark Survival Ascended's Extinction map. At number 1, we have this nice flat location with a stunning waterfall running down by Green Obelisk on the 2nd level. You can find this place at 4930 on the map on the west side of the city. It's got a nice amount of room, and I really like the fact that you get incredible views from all sides. And it's not too far from the wastelands, enabling you to get some easy OSD farming going on. Not far down the road is my second base location spot. It is an absolutely huge space that would be ideal for a big tribe base. It's a nice flat spot. If it interests you, you can find this one at 4626. Taking a closer look, you can see this is quite the spot to work with. You have a ramp off the back as well, leading to easy metal farming access. This next location is a bit more private and concealed. It has its own little plateau and overhang protecting you from the dropping creatures above. It's got plenty of room, but if you're interested in this base location, you can find it at 5530. The place it is on is a lower overhang, but you have a pathway down into the city trench and a way into the wastelands under the metal archway. Travelling over to the southern side of the city, there is a flat round spot perfect for a large sized base build with this small bridge over to it. It's very scenic here from all directions with a waterfall nearby. This spot is located one below ground floor on the edge of the city trench at 5539. Having a look around, you can see how big this spot is. You can get quite creative with it. I like the fact it's edged off with the whole bridge thing leading to it. It will definitely help provide good natural protection against dinosaurs. This spot has 2 pools next to it and a landing strip down the middle, making for a unique base design. I can imagine something Romanesque definitely placed here. It's on the ground level, so it will be nice and easy to move big land tames in and out of the area. But you might need to build up some walls for this spot. To find it, you need to go to 6145 in the large southern section of the map. I really love this base location because I think it is so pretty and the views are amazing. It's slightly further up. You do need to go up a couple of ramps to get here, but I think it will be worth it. Plus, you don't get harassed by many dinos up here at all. You can find this place at 6250, pretty much right on the border. Decent amount of space as well. There is a slightly larger part just down from it as well you could use if you prefer, but I had to include this one. The amphitheater is an all-time classic Extinction spot. I've used it for hubs before on previous versions of Extinction. It's a great central huge space with rivers and tracks running all around it. It is, however, a very popular spot though, so if you're unofficial, beware. To find this big beautiful location, run to 5165 to claim it as your own. It does have multiple levels through it and a ramp, but I reckon you could plan a good base here. This spot is a bit lighter usually. It is storming in game right now, which is rather beautiful in itself. This location provides a nice spot with a sealed off top part. It would make it easy to defend by putting up walls on 2 sides and not having to do much work on the other 2 sides. This location is at 4970 on the far eastern side of the city. As you can see, there is quite a lot of space here to use, enabling you to have a full out base underneath here. Going up a lot higher, we have these tree platform type bases, which seem to be quite unique to Ascended. There are multiple here, so pick your fancy. You could always try using the cliff platforms to extend them more too. You can't miss these stunning spots at 4869 on the map. And because these are so high up, it would make a great place to dive your mana off. That, and you're not far from the biome bubbles at all. There are 3 of these high-rise flat tops at this location, but this one has to be my favorite because of the layout and the small pool at the back of it. The only thing with these is there isn't a ramp up, so you would need to make one or a bridge across. This location is at 4560 at the top of the tall buildings. For me, I'd put my main house up the top part because it's nice and big, and then I'd have my diners on the lower part, as it would fit them nicely in quite a nice space. Not far from here is a huge spot. It's up to you which side you take. But this place is very flat and it has its own waterfall. There is a covered over section and lighter sections on this place. You can find it at 4658 on the higher levels. There is a slightly lower section and a higher up part, but the spot I prefer is definitely by the waterfall or up the back section. This one is classic. It's the hollowed out apartment room. It has 2 levels, the ground floor and the second higher up level. You could build on both and ramp up to the second floor. It's a really nice square space to put a base. You can find it at 4657 on the map. It's pretty central. I'd start off down the bottom and build up to the second floor eventually. A lot of the shaping for it is already done, so it makes for a pretty easy space to build up into. Next spot is a sneaky one. In the crevice of a building, you can find a large gap to pop a base into on the ground level. The foliage covers it up pretty well. If it interests you, this base location is at 4649. It could make a cool starter base location, being able to cover up in 2 directions and have more of a humble abode. You could turn it into something else. In the swampy section of Extinction, next to lots of beaver dams, is this flat location viewing both of the entranceways into the city. You can find this base location at 5341. It is very central. There are ramps down to the entranceways, so you got good access to the wastelands. Next up is a big open planned area for something huge. It's extremely central and I really like the placement of this base spot, but you'd need to work on some of the walls. It's hard to miss, but adventure to 4848 for this big flat spot. Close by is the Octagon, another place I've previously built server hubs on. The design of it can provide for some really cool looking bases, so I had to add it. You can find this one at 5052 on the map, with a 3 bit of metal in the middle of it. The only downside is the thinness of the second floor platforms. Coming over to another sneaky ground floor covered section, welcome to this building crevice. It's a larger scale one, which you can locate at 4140 on the northern side. I like this one because it's covered over and you have this big tree trunk in the midsection of it. You can wall off the openings quite well and it would make a neat spot. If the ground level isn't your flavor though, there is a second floor spot with a kind of similar design. It's got a huge platform for dinos and an internal section for your base. Find this base location at 4235 in the northwest. Hopefully this small walkover gives you a good idea on the scale of it. Lots of room up here and I like the building protection you can get from it. It's a tad dark, but nothing you can't light up. This spot has to be one of my favorites on the list. It's so incredibly beautiful. It's not got loads of room up here and there are no ramps up, but that might be your cup of tea anyways. It can be found high up at 4532 near the tippity top. It has its own glass swimming pool for base water and a cracking view of the city. At number 20 we have my final spot of the video in a higher up location. This is a very spacious spot near all the action. Find it at 5056 on the map on the eastern side. I like this location because it doesn't block the ramps as it is off to the side. There's lots of space and the worst thing you can find up here is the spiders, so it's pretty easy going. And with that, that is all my Extinction City base locations for today. If you enjoyed today's video, smash a like on it and subscribe for more ARK content. I have a cracking full ARK movie on my channel I've recently released. I highly recommend checking it out whilst you build your epic extinction base. But either way, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!